The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Morning Market Kickoff with your host, Tommy O'Brien. Now, Tommy O'Brien.
Good Monday morning, everybody. I'm Tommy O'Brien, coming to you live from TFNN, 8:30 a.m., 60 minutes ago until the opening bell, and we have markets in negative territory to kick things off. Right now, you're looking at an S&P negative by 29 points. That's about 1% in the negative, trading at 28.99. NASDAQ futures negative 71 points. That's about 0.8% in the red, trading at 91.46, and the Dow off 239. That's a full percent, trading at 24,047. Oil contract getting a bid this morning. The Saudis, they're going to be cutting their output by 1 million barrels. Oil up 57 cents at 25.31, and the 10-year yield right now sitting at 0.67%. Start things off. Let's jump over to the charts, and we'll start it off with the S&P. 28.97. We were higher overnight. You back it up to the highs at about 9:30 last night, 29.46. So you're talking about 50 S&P points. I mean, you're almost 10 to 20 S&P points in the green overnight. 3 a.m., the slide begins from 29.41. We're now trading under 2,900 at 28.97. Dow 30, pretty similar action. We make it to a high overnight, 9:45 p.m. last night. 24,468, currently trading about 400 points off that level at 24,050. NASDAQ 100 was up at about 92.80, currently trading about 140 points below that level at 91.39. There's your crude oil market. There's the pop on the news that the Saudis will be cutting 30 minutes ago. That number going from about $24 before the news, currently trading at $25.25. We'll see if that may be an impact on the market and those gains will hold. Gold contract back above 1,700. You have gold trading at 17.08 and the euro US dollar at 108.23. Quite a week last week. Lots of earnings. Non-farm payrolls, of course, on Friday. The market holding some of the good action that it had. Jumping over just for some context here. Pulling up the indices, it's interesting. I talked about it a little bit last week. Looking at the real levels that we've clawed back in all of these indices from the collapse. The run beginning February 20th, all-time highs in the S&P at about 3,400. You trade down to 2174. The S&P's now bouncing up right near that 618 retracement level of 2930. That's basically right where we finished last week. If you see Friday's bar action, right at about where, what is the closing print? Closing print, 2930.5. Remarkable, right? We closed out last week at literally the 618 retracement. Keep that in mind. We've bounced up to that level before on the end of April. And when we did that, retraced to the 50%. You pull up the strongest index of them all, the NASDAQ, actually above the 786 now. That number, about 9,092. We closed out on Friday at 92.22, so you're talking about more than 100 points even above that level. I mean, remarkable, right? You closed out last week at 92.22. The all-time high is 97.63, right near that level. NASDAQ 100 still above the 786. And the laggard of the group, the Dow, kind of just been flirting with a 50% line since April 9th. It's May 11th, right? You're talking about over a full month. We've just been oscillating right above, right around this line. Right now, trading 24,049. That number exactly 23,815. The upper bound would be about 1,100 points higher at 25,166. Jumping back to the news of the day, we'll start it off with Under Armour. Their sales plummeting 23% as coronavirus stalls turnaround plans. Apparel sales dropped 23% to $598 million. Under Armour, during its first quarter, reported an adjusted loss of 34 cents a share on revenue of $930 million. Revenue down 28% to $210 million. And accessories revenue declined 17% to $68 million. There are your numbers, 34 cents, $930 million. Under Armour reported a net loss of $589 million, or $1.30 a share, compared with a profit of $22 million. Quite a reversal of fortunes. The UA? Yes, it is, but guess what? We got to zoom in on them this morning. Quite the fall they've had. You see the volatility on the numbers, and we go from $9 to about $8.40. The conference call beginning right when we come on the air this morning at 8:30. Other news out there, you got Goldman Sachs warning jet fuel demand may never fully recover from the crisis. Quite a statement there, right? The coronavirus outbreak will have a lasting impact on the behavior of businesses across the globe, with jet fuel demand unlikely to ever fully recover, according to the head of the commodities research at Goldman Sachs. Just quite a statement to keep in mind with oil, right? Remarkable. The week begins with oil jumping like it did. You back it up to get last week's action, the real rise and fall Thursday up to 26.74 and actually finishing the day in the negative. But look at that action from Tuesday, right? Just hovering right around 24. We get a pop to 25. We're now approaching above where we were at all of Friday. We'll see if we can hold on to those gains, as tough to find a bid on crude when articles like that, no matter what happens, there's going to be a lot more remote jobs. People are going to be not working as often. I wonder how many less miles people are going to drive, even when we come back to business, right? Things are stopped right now, but in a year and a half, when people come back, what is that number? It's going to be a lot less. It's going to be a lot less in a big way in terms of people remotely working from home, Zoom, all of that included. Gold contract right now, 1708. We were, as I mentioned, down to about 1695 this morning. Jumping back to other action this morning, to stocks making moves. So before that, China's purchases of U.S. goods will fall way short of phase one trade deal due to the coronavirus. Shouldn't be surprising news, just something I saw on the radar this morning to bring up. Keep that in mind. Chinese-U.S. tensions already tense. You knew that this number was going to be bad. We'll see how that plays out as it becomes a fruition. How about Elon? Over the weekend, Tesla prepared to move out of California amid fight over factory shutdown. Musk tweets. So he tweeted on Saturday he's going to sue Alameda County and move future operations out of California after a dispute over whether the company can reopen its factory there. He's been clashing with those regulators for a while now, and you see the drop on Tesla. Market's negative this morning, though, so Tesla's down $20, but the S&Ps are down about 1%. No huge reaction. Because you see, even last night when we were open, 826 was the tick, basically flat, so no real reaction on Elon. Disney, Shanghai Disney reopening with antivirus controls. So Disney opening back up. Reported last week they had sold out pretty quickly. They're at about 30% capacity. Visitors in face masks streamed into Shanghai Disney as the theme park reopened Monday in a high-profile step toward reviving tourism that was shut down by the coronavirus pandemic. Disney this morning trading lower with the market, I believe. You take that drawing off there. Remove drawing. So we were up to as high as about 110, but as the market's faded a bit, Disney as well, we're currently trading at about 108.40. Checking in on some of the ride-hailing stocks before we go into the break. Big week for them last week with earnings. You had Lyft out with their numbers on Wednesday. Uber gets a pop. Uber with their numbers out on Thursday. They get a pop as well. This morning trading down a bit, and Lyft shares quite a week last week as well. Lyft was trading at about $25. Their numbers on Wednesday, Uber's numbers on Thursday. Lyft shares down a bit with the market as well. Stay tuned, folks. We'll be going over other companies with earnings this morning, and we'll talk about Amazon and AMC movie theaters, because maybe Amazon's going to scoop them up, and you'll be going to Amazon movie theaters sometime soon. Stay tuned. We'll be right back to talk about that.
If you're in the CD market and looking for a secure investment, the Tiger First Mortgage Program may work for you. The security for these first mortgages are building lots in the tax opportunity zone in St. Petersburg, Florida. The Tax Act of 2018 set up tax-free zones across the country where you can build and hold for 10 years and pay no tax on the profits, which makes these lots valuable. The investment is anywhere from $30,000 to $75,000. The interest paid is 7% yearly, paid on a monthly basis. According to Bankrate.com, the best rate for a 4-year CD in the country as of February 20th is 3.1%. A $50,000 investment at a normal 4-year CD rate of 3.1% would give you income of $1,550 per year or $6,200 over the 4-year period. That same $50,000 investment in the Tiger First Mortgage Program would give you $3,500 per year or $14,000 over the 4 years. Which would you prefer, $6,200 or $14,000 of interest on your investment? If you would like more information about the Tiger First Mortgage Program, you can call me at 877-518-9190. That's 877-518-9190. The gold market has taken off topside in a large way in 2020. If you want to take advantage of this sector, now is the time to subscribe to my gold report. The Gold Report took profits in 4 of its equities in the gold portfolio in the first week of January for a combined profit of 99.2%, with 2 positions left in the portfolio that have a profit of 67.5% as of January 7th. The Gold Report is a comprehensive look at the metals sector as well as the markets that move gold, which is the currency and bond markets. New subscribers get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to lose. Every Monday morning, I publish the Gold Report with coverage of gold, silver, bonds, the XAU, HUI, GDX, as well as more than 30 different mining equities. To see for yourself the types of profitable trades that are recommended within the Gold Report, sign up now by visiting TFNN.com. Don't miss out on the next great gold trade. Sign up today.
Are China A-shares hot or not? If you trade China A-shares, now may be time to take a closer look. Trade CHAU or CHAD, Directions Daily CSI 300 China A-share Bull and Bear ETFs. China A-shares in either direction. Visit directioninvestments.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
Welcome back, folks. You got the S&Ps negative by 34 right now. NASDAQ 100 negative by 85. The Dow negative 269. We have oil up 22 cents. Oil now under 25, giving up some of those gains that we got on the news that the Saudis will be cutting. That high, basically 25.58. And as you can see, dropping, we're good 60, 65 pennies off that high already. Jumping back to what I was talking about. So how about Amazon making waves? AMC Entertainment stock soars after a report Amazon has expressed buyout interest. So we'll pull up AMC shares in a moment. Those shares spiking higher, 50%, after the Daily Mall reported e-commerce giant Amazon had expressed interest in acquiring the struggling movie theater chain. Amazon shares slipped 3%. We'll pull up them as well. No real impact, of course, on Amazon in terms of that play. You'll see something, but in the grand scheme of things, with everything they have going on with COVID and deliveries, AMC not responding to a request for comment. AMC's market capitalization as of Friday's stock closing price was $427 million. I mean, what chump change to a company like Amazon, especially when it would seem to fit well when you have Amazon Prime, all of that stuff. They've purchased Whole Foods. They seem to want a brick and mortar presence along with the online presence. And as you can see, AMC stock tumbled 43.4% year to date as the COVID pandemic has led to shutdowns of movie theaters. Meanwhile, Amazon stock is up a staggering 28.8% this year. Remarkable. So, AMC, there's your pop from $4 up to $7.55. We're sitting at $7 right now. As a consumer, as a Prime member, I'm ready for it. Let's go. I love it. AMC, the movie theater, the whole industry, as we all know, getting transformed in dramatic ways, much like the grocery industry. When you have Amazon purchasing Whole Foods, how that ties together. They have a huge online presence with Amazon Prime for delivering streaming content. Some of those movies trying to make it into movie theaters. Why not buy the whole chain for less than $500 million when you're Amazon? I mean, for context, right? Bezos is worth, what's he worth? $120 billion, 130, 140 after this run it's had. And he himself could buy it for $400 million and not even feel the pain in a moment. So we'll see how that plays out. But interesting news this morning of how that could reshape things as the world tries to open back up, the country opens back up with movie theaters. quite a great time to buy, though, right? If you have the cash, talk about an industry that's been decimated before we jump away. I mean, look at this fall, right? Let alone the fall from $8 to $2 back to $4. I mean, you put this thing back on a 3-year weekly, it just doesn't stop. From $25 we were sitting at in June of 2017. Let's see how far back we go here. Yeah, I mean, this was really at about 2017. Beginning of 2017 is when the pain began. $33 down to $2. We're sitting at $4. Amazon could scoop that up. As I said, chump change, less than $500 million, and just add it to their arsenal of different products that they offer. Jumping back to other news out there, Apple, they're going to reopen their stores in the U.S. starting next week. So next week, being this week as of that, Apple's going to reopen stores in Idaho, South Carolina, Alabama, and Alaska starting this week. Stores will have temperature checks and will only permit a limited number of people in the store at one time. Apple stores outside of China have been closed since the middle of March. Remarkable, right? That's like 2 months. Time seems like it's flown. It's slow in one sense, and time is amazing how it just continually flies. Apple shares, there's some longer-term context. Quite the pop Apple has read recently. We're going to open at about 307. Now, there's some monthly. Putting it into the action that we had last week, we were as high as 311.65, Apple 307.18. While we're on it, we covered the Amazon story. Amazon off a bit from 23.79 to 23.68. Microsoft shares this morning. I mean, the Nasdaq's down about 1%, right? You're going to have all these stocks basically down a little bit. Microsoft at 182.88. Netflix, let's check it out, down a bit to 433.78. And did we pull up Tesla? Down a bit? Yeah, we did on that news. 796.18. You talk about moving all your operations. Maybe that has an impact. Maybe that's the China numbers having an impact there as well. Jumping around to other stocks making moves this morning for earnings. Cardinal Health out with their numbers. The drug distributor, quarterly earnings $1.62 a share, beating estimates. Revenue also beating forecast. CAH is their symbol. I'm just going to jump through these quick so you can put them on your radar if you want some action today. $54 from $49.88 was as high as $59.40. The conference call beginning at 8 or 8:30. 8:30, that conference call beginning right when we came on the air. Marriott out with their numbers, 26 cents a share for the first quarter, well below the estimate of 80 cents. Revenue topped estimates. Marriott said business was improving in Greater China and stabilizing in the rest of the world, although at extremely low levels. Stabilizing at extremely low levels. What does that mean exactly? Marriott down to below 85 at 84.97. They're beginning their conference call as well in the last 15 minutes at 8:30. We covered Under Armour, their loss of 34 cents a share. AutoNation out with their earnings. The retailer posted better than expected revenue for the last quarter, even as it took a $315 million in non-cash impairment charges due to the pandemic. Said its sales strengthened during the final 10 days of April. So we'll see how that plays out, right? There's AutoNation from 38 up to almost 42. You saw Uber talk about that things had picked up in the final few weeks, in the last few weeks. And if you start to see that trend, maybe that accelerates, especially the companies that are able to do that. United Airlines deciding not to proceed with a $2.25 billion debt offering without giving a reason. Interesting. Maybe they couldn't find buyers. Maybe the price that they were finding buyers at they didn't like. The airline had planned to use the proceeds to pay off a $2 billion loan that it had taken in March. United, you see the acceleration it had to lower prices last week. Right now, $24.40. Maybe that was the news hitting last night in terms of not doing that debt offering, dropping $1.50 out of the blue at about. No, that's going to be Friday's action. Okay, maybe that was then. But United struggling. Sony suspending its mainland China PlayStation online store, saying the temporary shutdown was for a system security upgrade. Chesapeake Energy advancing $25 million in incentive pay to executives ahead of a planned bankruptcy filing. The energy producer said in a regulatory filing that traditional metrics will not be effective in incentivizing the company's workforce. Interesting there. Chesapeake, there's a pop to 15 and change, now at 14.11. You have Intel and Taiwan Semiconductor. They're in talks with the Trump administration about building new chip factories in the U.S. Those stocks, no real reaction. Intel, pretty much unchanged. Taiwan, what's Taiwan Semi? TSM, yes. Whoops, TSM. I'll get there. Come on. 5270, and where are we? Here's, so Quidel received emergency Food and Drug Administration approval to distribute a new type of COVID-19 antigen test designed for rapid detection of the virus that causes the disease. One of the things we talk about, right, in general, is the need for better testing from 160 on Friday, basically, to 192 at one point. You're sitting at about 183.05. Hopefully that delivers for society, because you get a lot of tests, you get them delivered instantly. You test, you trace, you treat, hopefully. What else we got out there? We'll come back. We'll finish it up. We got a few more stories. We'll talk about some of the coronavirus numbers out there. Stay tuned, folks. We'll be right back to finish up the program.
I'm certain you are or strive to be one of the best at everything you do in life. It's the most common trait that we tigers and tigresses share. If you're looking to become the best of the best when it comes to managing your money, let me teach you to do what most wealth managers tell you can't be done, which is how to time the markets. I'm Steve Rhodes, author of Mastering Probability, and for the last 12 months, Timer Digest has been tracking my newsletter signals, which have earned me the ranking as their #1 market timer in the nation for the S&P 500 for the last 12, 6, and 3 months. Timer Digest also ranks me as the #1 market timer for gold as well. The fact is, markets can be timed, and I'll teach you the exact set of tools that I use that has transformed me into one of the best at what I do. Sign up for Mastering Probability today by clicking on the newsletter tab on the homepage of TFNN.com and get immediate access to workshops where I take you step by step how to use an extraordinary set of tools, as well as provide great market calls too. Sign up today.
If you haven't checked out the newsletters page of TFNN.com, what are you waiting for? All of the TFNN newsletters are informative, up-to-date, affordable, and a must-have for every trader looking to gain a competitive informational edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets to offer you the very latest in market news. Plus, new subscribers get to test drive our newsletters risk-free for 30 days. From all aspects of the markets, including stocks, bonds, metals, commodities, and tech, there's a newsletter to fit your needs exclusively from TFNN. Stay informed each day you trade and get that competitive edge that will help you stay ahead of the game. Visit our newsletters page by going to TFNN.com and click the newsletters button near the top of the page. TFNN.com, educating investors.
You know what's cool? Taking something that's good for you. Something specifically formulated to help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Nico, our hunter and gatherer ancestors found all their nutritional requirements for health in their wild environment. But today, our food sources no longer contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients our bodies need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, oil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty, and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated fulvic and humic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They have been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, life cannot exist without them.
That's right, Paige. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge, formulated and approved by Nico and Paige of Living Primal Lifestyle. Buy it today for just $89. Click on the Primal Edge banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
Welcome back, folks. You're looking at an S&P off about 1%. You have the NASDAQ off about just a shy of 1% as well, and the Dow off 284. The Dow right now off about 1.2%. Jumping back to the numbers for coronavirus, worldwide, you're looking at 4 million plus, staggering numbers, 282 deaths. You look at the rate. I mean, it's a pretty flat curve, but that curve is not declining on a worldwide basis. You jump to the U.S., you're looking at 1.3 million cases. You could say a declining curve. The tough part in here, now you're at I mean, obviously, the toughest part is that you're at almost 80,000 deaths and that number continuing to rise. What I wanted to point out, that not everybody really, there's so much information, to stay tuned with the good information out there, is that the curve on a nationwide basis, to go back, is declining. And this is just about safety, folks, and being aware of what's going on, especially if you're high risk, all right? I get if you're not, but if you're around people, new cases are just decreasing in the hardest hit areas. New York, rapid decline, thank goodness. Jersey, my hometown, my home state, Massachusetts, Pennsylvania, Michigan, Indiana, some of the hardest hit. Nevada. A lot of the states you could categorize as mostly the same. Now, there's variations in how so, but even Florida, you see the stagnation of the decline here as we begin to open up, which could be a little bit unsettling. But really be aware if you're in one of these areas, like Minnesota, where the line just going straight up, Arizona, our man Larry Pesavento. Just be aware, be safe, wear a mask, wear some gloves. You know, it doesn't mean you can't get out there. Be safe, especially in your high-risk areas, because the problem is there's a lot of push from politicians to get back to work, right? And just be aware that you still got to be safe, folks. These numbers, all right? I know it's tough. It's been 7 weeks. We all want to get back to things, but it's tough. I mean, even in the White House. And it's quite a statement that this makes everybody feel very good when nobody's wearing a mask of all our leaders. Well, it is spreading the virus right now within the White House, and that's irresponsible for nobody to be wearing a mask. I want these leaders to be healthy and in charge and taking care of things, and they should be taking care of themselves. So you take care of yourselves. That's the point out there, all right? That's what to take from that, no matter what. Stay tuned, folks. We got our man Larry Pesavento coming up live at 9 o'clock. I'll be back at 10 o'clock with Tom. Live programming all Monday at TFNN. Markets in negative territory. Stay tuned, folks. Larry Pesavento.